All right. Fingers crossed. I did a lot of changes to my streaming settings, so hopefully we'll be fine this time. Okay. Let me check something real quick. Let me see. I'm trying to see if I should put a little filter on or not, like color-wise, but yeah, I'll leave it like that. Okay. So we are kind of on a tight schedule, because tomorrow I have Omen Sight coming out, so that's pretty cool. And I'm already working on this. Now I want to keep playing more. I beat the game twice already. I'm gonna start the second hardest difficulty just to keep playing it because I'm actually really liking the game. It's pretty fun. Okay. Yeah, I changed some settings, so hopefully things are pretty cool. And yeah, all I was gonna do last stream is just I don't need to buy that. Yeah, all I did last stream, well, the plans was just to get everything. So yeah, that's what I did off stream. I got all the unlockables, did all the challenges, got all the shards and stuff. So everything's already maxed out and completed. And that's why I wanted to check out the higher modes, the higher difficulties now, to really put stuff to the test. Okay. I'm just gonna play a little bit. Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye out on OBS to see if things get a little crazy. Because yeah, I found out why it crashed, and it was because of overloading memory, I think it said. So I just turned down my settings. And yeah, I think the particle effects is what did it. There was just too much going on, and yeah. Because I had the same settings for Razor's Edge, and I didn't have a single problem. And I streamed that game for like 12 hours, I think. I don't know. Exact same settings, still plugged on Ethernet, so yeah. So it looks to be fine for now. Oh, another thing, let me show you a comparison. I think graphics. So it's at contrast 100. That's how it is on 50, but at 100 it becomes way more darker, way more sharper, in my opinion. I think the game looks so much better with the contrast up to 100, because the blacks are kind of gray, but doing this makes the game way more heavy on the shadows, which I like.
I know all too well how chaos corrupts and kills.
I'm sorry, sister. I didn't mean...
Yeah, I already got this game a few, well, this chapter specifically. I was just testing a lot of different settings for the stream,
Do not forget.
so hopefully this should be fine.
These ducks spread for miles along the bay. They once teemed with life.
Here's our first fight. It should have, well, actually I'm kind of curious. I want to see if the compositions are changed. Dude, that's gonna be the bread and butter for this game. Oop. There we go. Yeah, so it looks like they do actually change the enemy spawns on higher modes. Pretty good. My delay. Yeah, so this is Unity. And it's a momentum-based mechanic, so the better you play, you know, land hits, use different moves, and don't get hit, you're able to like do your DT. So yeah, you really have to earn your comebacks in this game. There we go. That's pretty cool. They actually do change up the enemy spawns, which is pretty cool. Like I said, I'm on a tight schedule because I do want to make 3 videos before NG4 comes out. So yeah, I don't want to spend too much time playing this more. I already beat it twice. I like it a lot, but I gotta start making the video eventually. Oh wow, yeah, they're really changing up spawns. Yeah, since I did a lot of hits, my Unity going. There we go. I like to dash cancel the ender to really keep on the move around this guy. There we go. Nice.
They're drawn to us like moths to a flame.
They can't resist the lure of life.
Hey, what's up, kitty?
Even though
Do you plan on doing any more combat overviews for 2D brawlers like you did Street Church 4 and I do. Probably for next year. Yeah, there's some 2D beat 'em ups I want to start playing. Like the Capcom stuff specifically, if I can. That's the plan, anyways. There's a few classics I want to get to. So I did buy the beat 'em up bundle, probably a year ago at this point. And there's quite a few things on there. I think Battle Circuit, that's like the biggest one I want to get to. Yeah, because I hear there's some carryover.
What was that?
I felt the
Whatchamacallit.
itself.
There's some neat like details in that game that you see in future action games from Capcom. So pretty cool to see, to check that out.
The Observer. The sooner we get to him, the better.
Yeah, for the next video tomorrow, it's going to be Omen Sight. So that's already finished. I actually got that done a while ago, but there was enough weeks left. I think about 6. So I'm giving myself 2 weeks to make a video for each one, leading up to NG4, just to have more out there for us to watch. Because originally, I was gonna fully take a break into NG4 and then focus on that. But it hit me that it'll probably take me a month to play NG4, like do everything that's in there, and then it'll probably take me another month to make the video. So with all that downtime, it would have been around 5 months without a video. 4 or 5 months, so that's a little too long. So yeah. And I was in the mood to make some more videos anyway, so. Yeah, so Omen Sight is tomorrow. And then this won't come out in 2 weeks. I'm already starting, I have a good amount of progress done on the script. Like just the basis of it. So it's gonna be some time. Yeah. What's up, Wub? Goddamn, what a surprise to see you play this game. Yeah. It's always one of those games you hear about, so yeah, I'm excited to get to it.
You know how to
I already beat it twice. Got all the challenges done, got all the collectibles. Because I streamed Wednesday, my OBS crashed, so we stopped early. But yeah, all I was gonna do is do like cleanup, but I did all that off stream. Yeah, I want to do one more playthrough. I'm on the second hardest mode right now. I want to like really see things put to the extreme or close to it. But like I said, I only have 2 weeks to make this video if I want to stay on schedule. So yeah, I'm really liking this game a lot though. I have like about 30 hours so far. Really cool. Color coding aside, I really like the moveset most of most weapons in this game. Hot take, but I don't really mind the color system. I actually don't mind at all. I will say this though, I'm gonna make a point in the video to recommend people don't start the game on night. Play on Initiate, I think that's called, the one below, because there's so much to learn but also to unlock. Like you mentioned, the movesets, right? They're really fun, but you don't have 90% of it. Like for one, you have to unlock the weapons, and then you have to unlock the basics like the stinger and launchers, knockdown, and stuff like that. So people are missing a lot of the tools before they can really start playing the game. And the crazy part is, I was looking at the percentage for people who beat the game, and it's 4%, which I find crazy. I used to be like a pretty big trophy hunter on the PS3 and PS4, like early PS4, and I would always look at the percentages, and I would notice the trend of like 25 and 33% is like the average people would like beat a game, and this is 4%, so that's kind of wild, like how harsh the drop off is in this game. And it could be because they chose night, because like I'm noticing the difficulties do change up spawns and stuff like that, so they might got enemies a little too early than they expected without having the tools right. So there's a lot of progression you have to get through first to really enjoy this game. It's the same story with Samurai Jack Battle Through Time as well. That you have to do a few playthroughs to get things unlocked, but
That would stop the people escaping.
yeah, same thing happens with this game.
Exactly.
That's a lot to ask for somebody though, to play the game 2 times fully, and about 30 hours to really start having deep understanding of what's happening.
Letting others die
But
so they can live.
it is very fun to do though. I had a lot of fun doing it. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get as far as I can. I don't plan to stream too long. Hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Just a little something. This is my pretty much final hurrah with the game before I start focusing on the script part. But yeah, I don't mind it either, but I'm well aware of people who got yeah, I know it's very divisive, but I'm gonna make a point. Well, I'm gonna bring it up, like I'm gonna challenge that idea as to why is it bad. Like, is it because that's like sort of the general consensus, like you hear it all the time, you kind of just follow, you know, like if people say it's true, then okay, it must be true, right, sort of thing. But yeah, I think it really works in this game. And it's sort of like a resource management going on, enemy prioritization, like get the right people out at the right time. Yeah, it's really cool. I do like it a lot. Now, I know they're gonna compare the reboot, right, DMC? But this game, they don't regulate the color to specific tools. You can still use like any tool you want. you can still use everything in your arsenal. So if that's if that's like the complaint, then oh, 1 second. He hears the other puppies outside. But yeah, if it's the lack of arsenal,
It works.
this game doesn't have that problem. You can use everything in your toolkit and work as intended. But alright, 1 second. Fingers crossed. Bum. I think this was on PlayStation Plus as a free game. Oh, nice. So like, okay, I can imagine the numbers got inflated. I'm guessing, but that's still a very harsh like drop off. Like still, yeah, there has to be another like PS Plus game out there. To like sort of compare like those clear rates, because 4% is like still kind of crazy. Obviously, I haven't checked like Xbox or Steam. I'm sure those numbers are different, but yeah, very crazy.
What is that?
My best guess as to why that is, they read the title, they expect it to be a Souls-like, played it, hated it. Yeah, I heard that too. A while back, I remember watching like a review or two, and yeah, that's something you've heard a few times. Like the fact it has Souls in the title already sets like an expectation or a precedent. So there's that, and then the color system not being like it's easily, you know, waved away. Like, oh, it's a bad thing, but this game does some pretty interesting stuff with it. It's got to be more open-minded, pretty much. So I like it's doing something different with the formula we're already comfortable with, we're familiar with.
We can shatter them if we work together. Let me focus my energy.
Yeah, but yeah, I already have everything unlocked, so I'm just gonna beeline through all this stuff.
There's more.
It's actually pretty cool, depending on your upgrade route. You can affect your synergy or your, what's it called? Unity. Oh, the Rapture, my bad. So there's sort of like a DMC2 thing going on, somewhat. Like how there's different passives and ways to customize your Rapture mode. But if you unlock everything, it kind of becomes a single tree, so you have to like purposefully turn stuff off. But it is pretty cool. You can sort of customize it in a way, like it's like an alignment system, I think, like trickery, mastery, and chaos. I definitely don't recommend pick up chaos until way later on, because a lot of the upgrade stuff say has a what should we call it? It builds up overcharge. I forgot what it's called, but oh, I didn't press it in time. But yeah, early on, I think that'll make things more irritating for people who haven't learned how to manage the resources yet. But I think it's called entropy. But yeah, you don't want to get chaos because going to overcharge limits a lot of your options. There we go. Yeah, I'm liking the new like enemy spawns. That's pretty cool. The general reason I hear as to why color coding is so disliked is because too restrictive. Face freedom. Yeah. Yeah. Like I'm gonna compare it to
All this death.
I'm gonna bring up like Silhouette, Mirage, and Ikaruga, the treasure games, to sort of show like color coding isn't bad. Like there's some interesting things that can happen.
Think of the people
And
inside.
it's sort of been done before in like previous action games in the past. You know, I always have to bring up my 2D comparison. So, but yeah. So I like when games try different things and try to be experimental. But yeah. And like you said, like the restrictiveness. This game doesn't have that, which is once people learn that, I think they'll be more what's the word, open to it, to try it out, the color coded system. But yeah, first impressions are everything. And as we saw, or as I mentioned, the drop off for this game is kind of insane. The one complaint I have, okay, I'll show after this. Pay attention to my sub weapons on the D-pad. Like I kind of wish it kept my position. Like I swapped to the cannons, right? So I swapped back to the axe, went back, and they're not there. So I have to double press every time. I kind of wish it remembered, because it is possible to swap to a weapon mid-combo and do their synergy attack. So if it kept like the last position, it would have been a little more smoother to do that sort of thing, but I like to plan ahead. Yeah, you just gotta press a few more buttons in a shorter period of time. Pretty cool you can do that though. This is the bread and butter right here. And that's another thing I like. I really like the whole momentum system. So the more familiar you are with the game, you only get better. Like things get easier. But again, there's quite a skill curve to really get into like the mechanics of the game. And then to make that even easier, a lot of things are unlockable. Like I said, like you're also paywalled out of upgrades. So you have to pay to get access to further into the skill tree, and then pay more money for that. So there's a lot of like stop gaps for people to get more tools and stuff like that. Yeah, once you get that through that hurdle, it opens up quite a lot. Anything else you've been playing lately? Damn, I don't think so.
A powerful aura
Like I play Marvel Rivals from time to time,
like an echo.
like get a few matches in
What?
on ranked and call it there.
I can't tell.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Those traces may just
The new season just started, so I think last week. So I was trying to get my rank back up.
Never seen the night. Easy now.
I used to play Overwatch
Even the
a
animals.
lot. I've been playing since like the
now I understand.
early open betas, but over time it kind of switched the game up to something I'm not, like the whole balancing I'm not a fan of, but Rivals finally got the format that I liked, or a lot of people asked for, which was 6v6. Yeah, so that's my preferred like competitive shooter right now. I've been doing a lot of achievement hunting in Resident Evil. Whoa. Damn. How is that actually? Like, I'm guessing don't use any like big heals or get a speed run type of achievement. You need to add trophies for Resident Evil 2 and 3, the originals. So I know they just added it on the PlayStation Store again. I think last month or this month.
You have this coming.
Yeah, every time I use the whip, the game goes crazy. Like the slowdowns, little. Yeah, I can imagine the bit rate's gonna go crazy right now too. Like I was fiddling with those settings the other day. And hopefully it's fine enough. Maybe if you watch on a phone, it'll be a little more better looking. But yeah. Who's over here? And I highly recommend swapping your counter to R1. Because the cool thing is about the counter, it doesn't stop you from attacking. So like loot, oh, can we get a better camera angle? Like you see your head moving. If you spam counter, you actually get penalized, which is good. You actually have to time it. But yeah, as you do the counters with her, you can still continue to attack. So instead of like lifting your thumb off the face button to press circle, if it's on R1, you can easily continue attacking and then
Get past it.
perfect counters. Yeah, again, a lot of like little hurdles with this game, but it opens up when you do. Soulstice has been playing it recently and have been wondering your thoughts on it. Yeah, I'm actually liking it quite a bit so far. I've done two full playthroughs and like a half one, like getting all the challenges done and getting the collectibles. So I pretty much had to do another one like following a guide.
They show up.
But yeah, I really like this game. A video won't come out for 2 weeks at max. So like tomorrow Omen Sight's coming out, and then yeah, this one I'll be working on in the meantime.
Hundreds must have come through the tear.
I wanted to play games with the sort of blue color theme. Just looking at the covers, like Omen Sight is blue, this is blue. The next game, I want to play a newer game. Now, which one that is, I'm not too sure yet, so I'm not gonna say. But yeah, the third and final game I want to play before NG4. I want it to be a newer game. But yeah, what's your takeaway on the whole color-coded system? Because I don't mind it at all, honestly. I think it has a pretty cool like skill learning curve to it. Meter management, enemy prioritization, and stuff like that. And there's not like there's impossible enemy groupings that I found. Not yet, anyways. It seems pretty fair. Like 99% of the time. Crap. Oh, maybe there might be a platform to jump on. There we go.
That day in the forest, playing beneath the big oak. That was really the last time I felt happy.
And the cool thing is about the whole build-up that to prevent entropy, hitting the right color target also resets the build-up a little bit. So yeah, it's all about picking your right targets, your right moment, and go all in on them and get the biggest punish possible. And that also like leads into the weapon system of this game. Let me see, because each enemy has a resistance and a weakness. Yeah, like Swarmer, Ferocious, and if you look at your weapons, you also have that sort of like it tells you what they're good at and what they're not good at. I haven't played this game since last year. I think it is better now because in the game page they mentioned updates like better targeting, I think better balancing as well. So they made changes since release. What exactly, I'm not too sure. Seems like general like quality of life fixes. But yeah, like I haven't had a single problem with like controls or anything like that. I must be missing a switch somewhere.
Within me, at all times, it never stops.
Yeah, so this game has a bit of platforming, bit of like exploration as well, sprinkled in between fights. Mainly like crystal breaking. God, I wonder how that looks on the stream. But yeah, dash cancel is also a very important thing. Like jump cancels is one thing to definitely learn to pick up on. Extend your air combos. You can do that with air dashes as well. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff to like do like efficient gameplay, which I find fun. Oh, here we go. There we go. Generally I'm doing Chris's campaign right now, which I didn't do yet. Okay. I can get 13 plus achievements in one. Dang, are you following like a guide? Or like a video guide or like a written one?
What is this?
I remember watching power picks a lot back in the day. Like Hitman Absolution, Fallout 3 and stuff like that. I wonder if they actually make videos still for that. I haven't done like serious trophy hunting in a long time. I still go for them for very specific games now. I used to do it for like pretty much anything, but now I just do it for games I really like. Well, I was gonna say if they're short, but I did end up platinuming like Rise of the Ronin and like the other Team Ninja games, which are pretty damn long. Where's the other one? There we go. Yeah, I remember that was a optional little area. The cool thing about loot, she also parries on her own. It is something you need to buy, but it comes in handy more and more later on. They must have known like the game gets pretty hectic. So it's good to have a little insurance. Things get messy. I think this was a item pickup. I've been doing all the goals in Tony Hawk Underground. Oh, nice. Wow. I've never done that before, actually. Like, whatchamacallit? What are they called? Like the special, like, gaps. There you go. I never really went to collect them. But yeah, it seems super fun, like, to find these secret spots, the little references they all have, inside jokes and things like that. The only time I've done it was for Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1+2. I did all the hard to get there's, and they were definitely hard. I think it's one of the hardest things I've ever done in gaming. It's kind of insane what some of those have you do. Yeah, when you attack, let me see. Yeah, it kind of saves your string. So if I swap to the hammer, it'll do the third attack. That's the third attack. 1, 2. So in the air, same thing applies. The third attack, or the fourth one, I think. The hammer sort of relaunches, so it just makes for a good like aerial juggle loop. You get the biggest, like the most damage. And then with jump cancels and the air dash resets, you can do some pretty cool stuff. I don't mind the color coding. I played a fair bit of Reboot DMC, so I know what I was getting into. I think it adds a small level of thinking instead of just being, yeah. I think if people see it that way, it'll, like, they'll appreciate it more. Like the meter management, enemy prioritization. That's like the biggest thing I'm gonna try to like mention. But yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing. It just adds its own little different skill to learn. I think more action games need that sort of thing to make it feel like different from everything else.
We can only trust ourselves. Let's figure this out
The wall messed up my little grab thing. Yeah, every time you use a whip, the game gets insane to look at. During that little, whatchamacallit, the rapture thing, you're just button mashing, but you had to earn that button mashing. You had to go untouched for quite a long time, use a lot of different tools, build up unity. Like, there's a lot of cool interlocking mechanics going on, which I like.
Contraption. Couldn't have just made
Since we're getting a Steam Autumn sale soon, my morbid curiosity has been telling me to check out once I did it. Also, if I regret it. But if it's on sale, it's not, I don't think it's too bad. And isn't there like a 2-hour policy for a refund? Like a full refund? And the game's pretty short too. So like you either beat it and not like it, or not like it and refund it. So I think
Let's clean it up.
that's pretty cool, pretty fine just to test it out. And I know they actually made a lot of changes or more quality of life stuff. I think they even rebalanced the game too. I think about a year ago at this point. So it might be more fun going back to it or playing it for the first time. Might be a better experience. It sucks their Samurai Jack game got delisted, but what can you do?
We can finally cross this thing.
After all that,
When I made my video, it was like 2 weeks, like a month before being delisted. So I made it in time to kind of be like one more push to get the game's name out there. But yeah, those IP games, man, like Transformers Devastation, the Wolverine games, Spider-Man games too, specifically. Like, it sucks you can't even pick up Web of Shadow anymore, unless you want to drop like $100 on a copy. Ba-ba-bum.
This looks like a prison.
I wonder if they knew what was going on outside.
Another game you don't really hear from Soleil is Valkyrie Elysium.
Doubt that they let anyone
That one kind of flew under the radar.
up to us to
That one's fine. Like, it has, what do we call it? Like, it's so close to this game in its ideas, but they rely too heavily on the RPG mechanics. Like, the damage bonus you get is way too strong. You kind of just rely on cooldowns from your assists and just mount everything from afar. Like, this game has the same sort of idea, like weapon types and weaknesses on enemies. But the damage boost isn't like trivial. You have to like actually earn the opening still. But yeah, Valkyrie Elysium is a little too wonky, like a little too easy balancing wise. Nice. Yeah, the little resets you can do in the air is pretty damn fun. It's definitely the bread and butter, so I'm really hammering home to learn those jump cancels and air dash resets. And luckily the combo is only with the base weapons, like the little hammer battle axe thing. So you have access to this since the very beginning. Like, their jump cancels is already there. You don't have to buy it. Like in DMC, you have to rebuy air hike for every weapon, and it's always the most expensive thing.
It must have
So I'm glad it's like a basic part of your kit in this game. Yeah, so you have access to do pretty cool, very damaging punish combos.
They're running forward. That's where the rays are coming from.
I see. I'm faster than they are.
Yeah, every time, if you pay attention to the little blue color on the top left, you can see it go down each and every time I land a hit on these guys. So if you do the right color, yeah, you're not punished for doing that pretty much. So you can manage your resources in that way. Yeah, there's a lot of small things to pick up on this game, but it does really make sense once it all clicks. Off we go. Yeah, I heard it be compared to PS2 games, but I will say it's more like PS3 era. I think of like Dante's Inferno, Lords of Shadow, and like Darksiders, that sort of thing, and of course like the DMC reboot. So it's more of that, akin to those games than PS2 stuff. He's done for. Yeah, because this game is pretty long. I skipped a lot of the cutscenes. And even then it took me 15 hours. So again, I understand why there's a fall off for this game. Progression's a little too spread out. A lot of expensive things. There's paywalled because you have to buy an item to even extend the skill tree. And with the levels, well, for the game being so long, you get weapons throughout, but way like there's a large gaps between each time you get a new weapon. Yeah. So that's one thing, and then the color coding is an actual skill to learn in this game. And then, yeah, it's pretty damn long too.
One down.
Yeah, since I have R1 as my counter, it's a good like showcase on why I have it there. I can just keep attacking and just really counter when I see it. There we go. You have to activate the finisher real fast, because if not, you actually miss it. So it's best to do it as soon as you reach it.
There's more.
There we go. Yeah, they mixed in blue enemies, red enemies, and it doesn't feel like overwhelming or unfair, but it is still pretty early on. I think you can really tell the difference in like stage 19, I think. It's the classic like beat 'em up elevator section, and they put everything at you. All sorts of elite enemies in one room, in one small area. They only get smaller throughout the stage, which is pretty cool. Yeah, that's like the real test of the mechanics. That's what I want to get to.
Found you.
Yeah.
May the Shaper guide your hand.
By some blue guys. So that's pretty similar to every other mode.
One down. Look, over there.
I don't think there's a range limit on that little rope thing. That just got to the guy way off screen. Go. Yeah, another example of mixing of the two, but it's very manageable. And of course, I have upgrades to like really ease on that sort of thing, but there we go. Cool that this is the next game being covered. It's going to come out in 2 weeks. Tomorrow, Omen Sight's coming out first, and then this is the next video. So like Omen Sight was like a 4-hour game. So that was like very easy to like get done pretty quick and give me more time for this game. So I already beat it about 3 times. So and I'm already got a head start on my script. I'm already working on it. I was doing that before I was streaming, getting like the bases of it. So yeah, this should be, I should be able to make it in time, like in schedule. Yeah, this one's coming out soon-ish. But yeah, I really like the game. It just takes a lot to get used to, pretty much, and for it to open up to you, but once it does, it's well worth it. That's why I'm still playing the game. This is the second hardest difficulty, and I just want to keep seeing it like get pushed further and further, like the mechanics. I gotta stop eventually to, you know, actually focus on the video part, but so I can make it on time. Yeah, this is a really fun game. Another cool thing they added with an update is this Transcendence. I think you did it once in the main story, but it was like tied to like story reasons. Like it was kind of like a one and done thing, but now you can do like whenever, which is really cool. So it's not just, so this is like a guaranteed like DT mechanic. The other one you really have to actually earn, like skill. But this one you can get to like just regular play. Kind of reminded me of Onimusha in that way. At the very end, Samanosuke gets his like transformation, but it was only for story reasons. You don't actually get to use it, which sucks because that design was really cool. Yeah, so I'm glad they added this with future updates, like after the fact. Show off the little animation. Omen Sight's a pretty simple one. Yeah, that one I get to show off the tier list again. It's been a while, but I think I put it in low C because it is a very simple, like straightforward game. It's more of a narrative focused game. Like I covered Stories of Legend. I forgot what it's called. I've covered one of their games before though, a few years ago. That's why I wanted to get to their follow-up game, the sort of like branching story paths and stuff like that. Yeah, it's more of a, if you like story, like cool little story characters, nice art direction, then that's for you. But combat-wise, it's pretty simple. Yeah, for this guy, you really want to do your dash cancels. He's kind of like weak behind him. And yeah, easy hits. I build up my Unity very fast. Now I can just go to Rapture. Full hyper armor. You can get healed during this form if you built into that. But yeah, hyper armor do massive damage. There you go. Let me save that clip for the video. You might see this later when that video is done. The dev for Heartless and Dreadful recently announced that he's overhauling one of the playable characters.
Way into the city.
Heartless and Dreadful.
We did it.
The game I'm thinking of is Heart and Soul, I think. That's like an indie roguelike game I covered a long time ago, but I actually don't think I've heard of Heartless and Dreadful. Is that like a... I'm assuming is it an indie game, right? An indie action game? And this is another reason why I wanted to play this game is because of the art direction, but also the I think her name is Breer. Like her design is really cool. It obviously looks like Guts from Berserk, but it has some good amount of ties to Claymore, which I'm a big fan of. I've only seen the anime. I never read the manga and stuff like that, but I've always liked that look and like the whole like premise of that anime. And it's pretty much what Transcendence was, like the very similar like in ideas.
Stay vigilant.
So this is like a pseudo Claymore game, which is a big reason why I wanted to play it for the longest time.
But these roots look
Because all there was for Claymore was a DS game that I'm aware of. Like after finishing the anime, I'm like, there has to be some tie-in game. Because there's a lot of them. Like Fullmetal Alchemist has like 3, I want to say. Cowboy Bebop has one. I think just recently, an English translation came out. And it looks like a third-person shooter. I'm not too sure. I gotta look into it more, but yeah, of course, like Samurai Champloo had one. Inuyasha has a lot. Naruto. Okay, there's a lot of these tie-in games, so hopefully Claymore has one. But no, all there was a DS game. And at first, I'm like, okay, I don't mind. It's this 2D side scroller. Maybe it's like Odin Sphere, you know, it's like a Vanillaware game. But no, it looks pretty janky. So yeah, that's unfortunate. I never played it because of that. I'm like, okay, I want something pretty good. But yeah, that's where we have Soulstice. I can kind of like scratch that itch with this game. Sometimes I even ignore using Rapture so I can keep fighting enemies since they're so fun. But just to clear the room. Oh wow, I'm really surprised it missed. Probably because I wasn't locked on, but I suggested the game once. Any action? Okay, I'm gonna have to definitely remember that then. A bit unrelated, but I tried Dead to Rights Retribution again. And I actually love the combat in that. Aggressive and creative play. That's the third-person shooter on the Xbox, right? That's like one of the very first games I ever rented from Blockbuster back in the day. I've always liked the idea of like the partner with Shadow. If I ever do cover that game, I'm gonna mention Shadow Dancer, the Shinobi game. So I think the dog is also named Shadow. So again, I always gotta find a way to bring things back to my 2D action games. So yeah, I gotta make a shout out to Shadow Dancer. I did want to learn that game to stream for the whole like Year of the Ninja thing, but I decided to put a pause on that stuff and focus on videos again. Didn't want to go too long with that one, so. Yeah, I've always liked the idea of that game. I gotta play it more. Do you plan on playing the whole series? Because there's like 3, I think. And I think there's even different versions. I think GameCube and the OG Xbox has different balancing. I think. Not, but I feel like I remember something like that. But
Let's find out.
yeah, so this is the exploration, platforming, breaking crystals part of the game. They break up the combat with a few of these. So hopefully I remember where everything's at, but because we can be here for a while. If I keep falling off or keep forgetting. Ooh, luckily there's a ledge grab. There we go. And even the dash does damage, which is cool. Like the little soda charge. So I did a dash cancel into damage, which is pretty nice. It wasn't a lot, but it's pretty cool you can do that. Keyboard would be worth checking. Yeah, I covered their previous games, Redeemer, a few years ago. I finished 9, what's it called? 9 Monkeys? Something like that. 9 Monks, 9 Monkeys, something like that. I didn't make a video. I don't know why. I think I was moving on to like more larger projects. So I kind of just left it. But yeah, I covered one of their games already. And I've been waiting for Keyboard to come out. I think it just came out like 2 months ago. Yeah, I've been waiting, so I'm glad it's out, but I just gotta get to it. Surprisingly, there's a lot of action games to cover, believe it or not. Like, it seems like the numbers is pretty low, like releases, but the more and more I looked into it, like, of course, for like the channel stuff, it's a good handful. Like another indie beat 'em up that I covered was Shing, really cool, like ninja based beat 'em up. But they're making a new one. I forgot what it's called, but it's sort of like a Sleeping Beauty roguelike action game. So it's cool to see like these devs like slowly like improve their craft, which I really like. And I continue to make action games in general, so we can definitely use like a constant stream of them. I'm not complaining, that's for sure. Yeah, for these guys, they're really weak to the whip. And like since there's so many of them, the large hitboxes hits all of them. The little like grasp thing helps you keep on top of them because they like to like dash around everywhere. So you can like really stay on top of them. Yeah, so use the whip for these guys. And like the little pop shredder does a lot of stagger buildup. You can start juggling them pretty soon after. And there's an upgrade. Like there's red and blue enemies, right? So I put on blue, put on red, and now they're both vulnerable still. This is a very late game upgrade, and very important one to have. Because right now my buildup was kind of high, like my entropy. But having this upgrade lets me like flutter between the two. And yeah, I can manage my meter that way. Yeah, it's a lot of cool things going on. And I hope I can get that across when I make the video. But yeah, 500. Heartless Driffle. Trying to forget I didn't know. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it looks like it's a little unknown then. I'll have to check it out. Keyboard would be worth checking out too, since it's... Okay, yeah. I should have kept reading. They recently added local ooh, that's super rare nowadays. Like to see it.
Leighton is here.
Big recommend has gone through a lot of updates.
Possessed again.
2020. Ooh, nice. What type of game is it? Is it like a beat 'em up? Is it like a 2D action game like Dishwasher? Is like a 3D sort of game? Ooh. Time to climb all the way back. I'm not sure if that works yet. Oh, it does. Nice. And I'm already planning ahead for next year. I won't say too much, but Castlevania is having its 40th anniversary next year. So yeah, I'll just leave it there. Because I was already planning for like the Ninja Gaiden stuff around this time last year. Like I already knew I was gonna do the whole series and like ninja stuff in general. But I did not expect shadow drops and more releases, so I was quite surprised. So yeah, so it was Ninja Gaiden this year. Next year's Castlevania, and that's my other favorite series. So yeah, I plan to do another whatchamacallit, a no death playthrough for the first game. Alright, which one am I missing? There we go.
And we're done.
I think this is a health upgrade. I don't need to be here, but these little like scorpion guys are probably my favorite enemy in the game. Holy crap. That perfect parry just exploded. With all that crystals everywhere. Yeah, I'm not going to use my rapture because I want to show off the scorpion enemy. Okay, for these dogs, they're easily launchable with any hit. So I use the hammer, which the initial hit launches. And then I use the launcher to really put them up there. And then yeah, do the bread and butter combo from there. 1, 2, 3, hammer, jump cancel, 1, 2, 3. Dash reset. Okay. Right now he's doing like a little horizontal, like a spin tail. So I jump to my aerial prop shredder, so I can punish him that way. And once he's staggered, then yeah, do the same bread and butter. I know it's hard to see, but it's such a small room. But that's one of my favorite enemies. There's a lot of, because the actual like positioning, like horizontal. Well, a lot of enemies have like horizontal and vertical attacks. So I'm glad like spacing is also an important thing in this game. Because if you notice, even though I perfect parried, some attacks aren't actually stopped. They only get slowed down. So that's like a detail you need to pick up on your own. Like which ones are like actually interruptible or just frozen in time. So yeah. A lot of stuff in this game. Third-person shooter has some surprisingly decent melee combat, and playing as Shadow is fun. Yeah, don't you do like bomb defusal as Shadow?
The crystal is no more.
Yeah, I know you have like some little stages with him here and there. 9 Monks of Shaolin, yeah, that's the one. I already played them. They were OG Xbox Data writes is my favorite. The second game is terrible. Retribution is great though. A PSP game too? Whoa. Now that's surprising. Because the PSP just has like a little nub, right? It doesn't have two thumbsticks to like actually, you know, play like a shooter. I'm kind of curious how they like got that done. Like I remember playing Medal of Honor Heroes on the PSP a lot, 1 and 2. And those games you use the face buttons
Let's go.
to like move up and down, left to right. So, yeah, I wonder what a third-person shooter would do then. There we go. Okay. I got Shing for free as well. It sold really good. Poorly. Okay. Yeah, that sucks. It's a really interesting game too, because you use the right thumbstick to do either like a spiral attack or like lows, highs, and mids. So there's like very specific hitbox stuff to do, and that ties into like catching juggles. It's very cool. I really like the precise hitboxes they have you do. Like kind of reminds me of Smash Bros in a way. How there's like side tilts, but you can do them in angles, like skillful angles. But yeah, really fun game. You can change the controls to be traditional, but again, I like when games actually try something a little different. Okay, I was about to go into entropy, so I just used my rapture. Oh. Yeah, so this move is only frozen. Yeah, so you really have to learn their patterns and like know which ones, like I said, are interrupted or not. They're just frozen for a brief time. I wonder if you'd enjoy checking out Condemned 1 and 2 for a change. They've got some. Yeah, I remember playing. My dad was a huge fan of the first Condemned. He liked the whole first-person aspect and like the darker theme, the whole detective part. I never played it because I was younger, but I always watched him play that game. And then we played 2. We weren't too much of a fan of it. We preferred the first one, but I think it does have more advanced like melee combat though. And I wouldn't be opposed to checking it out because I covered Dying Light 2. It was like really early on, like the first year of making videos, I think. So I was still kind of like figuring out like what I want to make videos on. But I was actually really surprised of what the mechanics were for that game. So yeah, I don't mind like checking out like first-person combat games. So. Yeah, I don't see why I wouldn't check it out sometime. Great AI nuances. 2 in particular has some great elements of depth. Okay. Condemned 2 does have a terrible campaign, but it has its moments. Additional game mode that focus on just relative combat. Oh.
Why would he not
okay.
fight?
And I mention this every time I stream, but there's just so many games to play.
We're here to fight. Come on.
Like I say, the genre might seem sort of in a low point right now, but there's 20 years of stuff to play, and even before then, right? Beat 'em ups. Yeah, then you can like branch off like first-person games, third-person shooters. Like I think they're all adjacent to each other. Like that's why I have like Vanquish on the tier list and stuff like that. And, like Resident Evil 6, right? Oh, I was trying to use my Rapture, but it just got cancelled. Yeah, horizontal attacks. You know, dodge your way out of them. I'm gonna try to jump above and see if I can do something. That's unblockable.
Take care of it.
You have to do time dashes because if you dash 3 times in a row, there's end lag. So you actually have to be careful with your movement and positioning. Okay, let me just use my rapture. There we go. I think this is the end of the level, so I'm just gonna use it. H&D is very much a 3D action game. Strong DMC inspirations. It's not perfect, of course, but it's a very solid gem. Whoa, that's 100 updates? That's crazy. That's pretty cool to hear how it's like constantly supported though. I think that's the upside of having like more indie action games. For one, they're more creative, right? More experimental. But since it's like usually like a small team or like a one-man show, they have more liberty to like actually keep updating it, keep refining it. Yeah, it's really cool. There were some of my favorite enemies in the game too, fighting highlight epic. Okay. I think it was easier for them to make it for the PSP since the original game didn't. Conventional aiming. Oh, there's sort of a lock-on, right? Sort of like an auto-targeting. I think. It's been a long time since I've seen gameplay. I will say, even though Second M2 has a terrible campaign, I do think it has some of the best levels in any game. That's kind of yeah, it's kind of huge, right? Because I remember you really like have appreciation for Dune and like first-person shooter, like level design. So to have that sort of first-person melee combat compete with those games is kind of a big like statement. I think most people prefer the first one. The second one jumped the shark completely, but the mechanics are great. Okay. Yeah, that's what I remember too back in the day. The campaign was so-so, but the advancements in like mechanics was like the saving grace. A bit unrelated, but Donovan was one of the inspirations for a character. Oh, nice. Yeah, Donovan's a cool looking character. Again, like I said, I skipped a lot of the cutscenes, so I don't know their like personalities too well, but yeah, a lot of the characters are really cool looking, like art style. Do you plan to do anything with like the character you wrote, like make your own book or a game, you know, a graphic novel, stuff like that?
Sister Amber.
Yeah, she's a really cool pro tag too. Speaking of RE, there's the Haunted Hell's Reach. Indie RE Mercy.
Don't let that
Oh,
fear take hold, Lute.
very fun mechanics, feels unique, not a...
Truly be lost.
Whoa. Guess I have any third-person shooter in general is pretty impressive. I honestly can't think of one. Oh, that's a lie. There's Proto Droid Delta. It's on sale right now on PlayStation. I'm gonna pick it up and cover it later. It's pretty much like a 3D Mega Man X game. So that I'm looking forward to covering. And there's also Akimba. It's pretty much Ratchet and Clank Deadlocked, like a successor. So yeah, there's only 3 like third-person shooters I know of.
Close myself off to their suffering.
And there's like Wanted Dead, obviously.
I should listen.
But yeah, besides those, it's not a lot. But yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. I may be exaggerating with me saying 100 updates. Updated the game so much. Yeah, that's cool. It's really like super hands-on. I'm assuming really like in touch with the community, because if the dev was like constantly like updating, they must be taking feedback, listening to everybody, watching gameplay. Like, that sounds pretty cool. I'm guessing you were there from the beginning, or like did you join in over time from like word of mouth? Probably not far off. A lot of updates don't get directly counted. Oh, okay. It's already Mercenaries inspired, but it has some surprisingly great melee mechanics. That's a major part of why the game's... Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I need to remember to mention with this boss fight is to learn how to do your dashes, but then jump cancel and do like a instant air dash to keep the pressure. And yeah, dash, cancel your ender to back away because he might do a swipe to get you off. I'm waiting for him to like shoot. There we go. Yeah, little Battletoads, TMNT, Kingdom Hearts 2 right there. Having this sort of boss point of view. I'm waiting for it to shoot. There we go. The dash cancel. That should be fine.
You won't escape me now.
Yeah, if you get too close, he just runs away again. Alright, one second. One second. Alright, we back. Okay, let me catch up. Well, I've been dreaming of making a game, and he'd be an important character in the story. You're saying that you want to make a game as a person who can only draw. Okay. Yeah. I've thought about it too, but the whole idea of uh, the programming and stuff like that, that's a totally different skill set than like game design or thinking of the story. There's a lot of things going into it. So I give a lot of props to solo devs. Like, to be able to do the entire thing yourself is kind of insane.
Take care of it.
Nice. Very fun boss fight. Hey, what's up? What's up? I'm playing Shank 1. Oh yeah, that's another game I've been recommended a bunch of times. Okay. Condemned 1 and 2. Shank 1 and 2. H&D. What else do we talk about? Dead to Rights. I think that was it. How are you liking it so far? Shank 1? Because it's like a 2D beat 'em up, right?
We did it, sister.
It looks like we did.
I remember Akimbo. It's pretty fun. Bears in Space is a first-person game that has a lot of Ratchet and Clank. Oh, nice. So yeah, I could do a one-off with Proto Droid Delta, or maybe I can do like, two of those, both of those games, the two, Akimbot, Proto Droid, and I could probably try to find something else to like do a three game theme, but yeah, a lot of stuff. Sounds impossible, but I can't do programming, but I've still been able to learn directing projects. Oh, nice. On a average project, how many people do you have? Okay, I'm gonna guess like 5. Maybe 5. Yeah, because if it's like a small project, right? That must be really tough, like trying to time management, who, what, where, when. Yeah. 5 to 10 people, jeez. Are you in the middle of a like a project right now? Or something more smaller scale to what you've done in the past? Directing and just making that is a lot of work. I can't do it all, given my limited skill set, but I'm still being able to start somewhere. Yeah, that's a big thing. Damn, you get Rapture this late into the game? Well, like 5 chapters in, 5 or 6 chapters. That's like a 5th through the game, because there's like 25 missions, I think. Named 1 and 2, Shank 1 and 2, H&D, Haunted House, there you go. Dead Rights, Keyboard, okay. Thank you, appreciate it. Okay. A lot of stuff. But yeah, once, how long did I take a break from making videos? Was it like, at least a month, maybe 2. Yeah, once September came around, I'm thinking, yeah, we gotta wait 2 more months, and then there's possibly 2 more months for me to make the NG4 video. So, yeah, I don't want to leave you guys hanging too long for the next game, well, next video. So, Jesus, 2 months, yeah, that's pretty fast. It was fun though, working on like ninja games, getting better at the NES Ninja Gaiden games again. Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing that, but I'm sure you guys want some videos, so. And plus, I wanted to make them.
He's far larger than I thought.
I had that itch again, so.
We're not here for the sights and the
Like I said, I'm on a tight schedule. We only have about 2 months left into NG4, so I gotta get this made. And the third mystery game,
it's no use to
I'm still trying to decide, so I'm not gonna put a concrete answer on that one just yet, but it's gonna be more of a newer game.
there's more. Who's next?
Nice.
Vile things.
Keep away from him.
Yeah, you gotta kill these guys as fast as possible before they start charging you down.
One down.
Let's keep it up.
Yeah, again, I'm picking up on all the different enemy spawns. Oh, it's too slow. For the higher modes, which is pretty cool. Like, that's something you rarely see these days. And I'm also noticing the HP isn't like bloated, like between all these harder modes. Like, they're still very much like, you know, killable. They're not like damage spongy at all. They actually took the effort and made the game a bit different with enemy spawns. And again, if you're really good at the game, you can just chain rapture mode. Stay on aggression, and don't get hit. Oh crap. Stylish way to end it. Of course, of course. I'm doing the solo part of the project, which is making all the gameplay of my own. Okay. It's a massive undertaking, but I can do most of it.
We can't go
So are you
further.
doing like
Let's see if there's
programming
another
then?
way.
'Cause yeah, if you're making stuff on your own, right? Or is there like sort of a tool program to sort of help out? So you don't have to do too much by hand, pretty much. Yeah, every enemy in this room is weak to the whip, so. Actually, let me get rid of these guys. Another skill you need to know is to know what's happening when you can't see. There's a lot of particle effects in this game. And it only gets worse when you're upgraded. Because doing perfect parries sort of spawn in like mines, crystals, and stuff like that. Then explosions follow. So yeah, get ready. Just kind of cipher through the craziness. Wasn't too bad managing both colors. Look at that. It's possible. It's possible. I think it was 2 months. Shank 1 and 2 were the more fun starting points for me as a kid. I moved on to classic Streets of Rage almost immediately after. Yeah, that's some. I've only played Streets of Rage and Final Fight like once through. Excuse me. But yeah, a lot of classic beat 'em ups. Yeah, I think that's something I want to make time for beat 'em ups next year. But again, it's Castlevania's anniversary next year, 40th. So I have Laments of Innocence and Lords of Shadow 2. And there's more games adjacent to Castlevania. And I think that's the fun part I'm going to keep secret for now. But yeah. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to next year of all the stuff we're going to be checking out then. Oh, one more. Oh, wrong color. Yeah, I should have saved my air dash. There we go. And the platforming's pretty fun too. There's only one mission where it's kind of required, under a time limit especially. But
Sisters,
it's pretty fun.
it seems you're not dead.
Speaking of Ninja Gaiden, that major mod for Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is adding Ultimate Ninja. Oh, to Ninja Gaiden 2, that's pretty cool. Completely new, yeah, higher difficulty with additional balancing.
Had been able
When I get a stronger PC, that's the first thing I'm gonna cover. Both Master Collection, Sigma 2, that one, and then 2 Black. I want to see both
I don't believe he even
changes.
knew was here.
Excuse me.
I am more trouble, but he wants us to spy on him.
Because they're pretty much
That's what he meant.
entirely different games at that point,
Lesson.
with how much they were reworked and retooled
The
from the ground up.
Too many secrets. He'll get no more from us.
Yeah, if we thought we had a lot of games already as is,
This.
yeah, PC only
I've never seen
only
anything
opens the
like
door further, so
Looks like a shockwave.
we have a lot to cover.
Frozen in crystal formation.
Yeah, here we go.
But more than
Mark of the Ninja is the best game made from Clay Studio, the same that. Oh, I did not know that. Mark of the Ninja. Wasn't that more of like a stealth 2D action game? If I remember correctly. I think it was more like a 2D game, like more stealth, like emphasis on stealth. Mark of the Ninja is great. Thief 1 and 2, the only Splinter Cell influences are notable. Oh, and early. Okay. And it's impressive that they did. Okay, so that's cool. Yeah, yeah. I remember I tried to get into Splinter Cell because I have a original Xbox and I got Chaos Theory on there. And I wanted to get into it, but I wasn't in the right headspace at the time because it's a very like patient game. Like it's a true stealth game. Like you really have to pick your moments and move very slowly and carefully. So yeah, at the time I wasn't ready for it, but I do want to get back to the series eventually. And I'm trying to remember which one it was, but there was more of a third-person shooter, like guns blazing sort of game. I'm pretty sure like fans of the stealth didn't like the change, but the gun mechanics seem pretty fun. Like you see Max Payne 3 and
your wounds.
that Splinter Cell around that time, they're showing off side by side a lot.
But I'd like to know what hit us in the first place.
Surprisingly enough, there's not that much programming involved because the dev tool is okay.
Feel a distant
The biggest challenge is that set tools are okay, powerful but tricky. Okay, so you have to like
Then we should be
solve problems on your own.
for a small time.
That's the fun part, I bet. Like finding that that breakthrough, that Eureka type of moment. One big puzzle piece, pretty much.
Can't hear him among all the dead. Should we look for him?
Ba-bum. There's a lot of particle effects, but I fell in love with more readable. It was more readable than the recent Fatal Fury. Yeah, I remember I wanted to play like Fatal Fury to be my next fighting game that I play. But then Ninja Gaiden got announced. 3 of them, so yeah. Any leftover money I had was going for those games, so. Now I'm just waiting for Tokon, Marvel Tokon. I'm hoping it's free to play, but I don't think it will be. Like, I'm not a big fan of paying for online, like, to play online. So, lucky for me, Marvel Rivals is free to play, so that means you don't need to pay for PlayStation Plus. You can just access it. So, yeah. Yeah, so you have to buy Marvel Tokon, buy the DLC characters, if any. You know, buy internet provider, and then buy access to online. Like, there's so many paywalls for fighting games. It's kind of insane. Like Street Fighter 6, same thing. Like, you have to buy the game, buy the battle pass, and buy characters. Like, there's a lot of nickel and diming in that game. It's fun, but holy crap. Like, pick one or the other pretty much. Either make it a full price game and get everything, you know, for free to play, and I don't know. Like, some free to play games give characters for free, and like only cosmetics are paid for. Yeah, I'm hoping fighting games become more free to play over time. I remember Multiverses was like the first example of it working, but the fall off was insane. But yeah, I might like get PS Plus for like a week and then stop playing there. Because like, again, there's so many like barriers to play fighting games online in this day and age. Lords of Shadow 2 will be a rough one. There's a lot to dig into, but most people haven't given it's not over enjoyed by most. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the first game much at all, but again, it's a Castlevania game, so I want to, you know, check it out. Yeah, I heard the DLC was pretty good, or like there was a section that was really good. I'm not sure which. I think it's when you actually visit Dracula's castle. I heard it becomes more of like a 3D Metroidvania, I think. So yeah, I do want to check it out. And I heard the combat's actually more better in that game than the first one, but yeah, we'll find out in time, pretty much. It's an old school style stealth game, but a side scroller. Okay. Splinter Cell 1 and Chaos Theory do require some patience, but they're great when you get into it. Yeah. Like, the only, like, man, what real stealth game have I played? I played Manhunt when I was younger. I probably shouldn't have, but that's like the only game with like a whole shadow mechanic. Like the speed at which you walk is important, that sort of thing. But oh, I forgot I shouldn't be fighting these guys. Or should I? I know there's a stage where you're supposed to be running past everybody. Yeah, never mind. Supposed to be running past these guys. Yeah, only Manhunt was only like stealth-ish game I played. But that was years ago. Man, it's, I always, what's the word? Fascinated about the crazy like library Rockstar had during the PS2 era. Like there was like 4 GTAs or 5 on PS2. And then like Bully, Manhunt, Warriors, Midnight Club. I think they did Midnight Club. Red Dead Revolver, I think they did. Well, I think it was Capcom, I forget. Yeah, their output was insane at that time. Pandora's Tower is the second one, but I never enjoyed it much. It's funny you mentioned Pandora's Tower. I'll keep it there. It's funny you mentioned that game.
Let's not wait to find
Yeah.
out.
MGS5 can be enjoyed as a stealth game and as a third-person shooter. Yeah, I've seen some clips here and there of like people just zooming through the stages. I never played it. I don't know why. Like I finished the first 4 games, but I never played 5 because I think how long the game is. So yeah, so I never really gave it a chance. I remember like how big that game was on release though. That's kind of wild watching that happen at the time. And then the drama with Kojima, Fallout, and stuff like that. Splitting from Konami. Conviction and Blacklist are tricky. They seem like a basic fast-paced shooter. With my experience, they feel more like a stealth arcade. I'm not sure how to categorize. That still sounds pretty cool though. Yeah, you notice how you can just button mash and Rapture. But damn it, I earned it. Yeah, so now we're having a mix of enemies with that are more sturdy, some that are faster, different colors.
Look, over there.
I am ready.
You want more? I've got more. There's more.
I could use Transcendence, but I actually want to fight these guys.
Sister, we have our guard down.
Messed up my combo, but it's fine.
My powers. Be careful.
I'm not done yet.
So many stuff going on, like particle effects.
Dispersing my efforts.
There's one. There we go. Blacklist does have the deeper stealth, and it's decent enough. Okay. Conviction, meanwhile, is definitely stealth. The only game I really put time into was Double Agent on the PSP. I remember thinking it would be a really cool like third-person shooter. But yeah, I didn't get far. Wasn't too much of a fan of it. I was probably like 6 or 7. But yeah. But it's still pretty cool to think they even attempted to make a portable game. Same way for Dead to Rights, which is pretty cool. Lord of Shadow 2 does have a better combat overall, but it suffered from development, which is noticeable. Okay. And speaking of stealth, you always hear that come up as like a drawback from the game. I'm not sure if there's like multiple sections of stealth or just like one-time thing, or like probably 3 moments probably in the entire game. Who knows? But
You think it's going to consume the city before
I'll find out
it's
soon enough.
destroyed?
I hope not.
I think the devs of Lord of Shadow got their combat design right by the time
The stronger its power.
from Metroid to Metroid Dread. Yeah, that is pretty cool. They kept making them.
It must feed on these.
So I remember when I forgot how I played.
Able to catch us
I played a little bit of their
feel anything?
Lord of Shadow spin-off for the
Not until it
uh,
was too late.
the Metroidvania one.
It's like they hit
And that was pretty cool. Yeah, they did the 3DS remake, and then Dread and stuff like that. So I'm glad. Like, again, they were given chances to improve their craft. Like, I want this dev team to make another game. So I think they did like mobile games before this, like a VR game. But this is like the first like major console game. So I want to see them make more stuff. Just like Soleil, like I want
Do not let them surround us.
these dev teams to like keep making action games. To have more stuff out there. Yeah, you could use the bow. That's their weakest, what their weakness is. But they still fall victim to the same bread and butter combo. 1, 2, 3, axe, stuff like that. Okay, by stealth arcade, I mean a game that strongly focuses. Okay, I want to catch the thing. Focus on stealth, but the player's abilities are flexible enough that it encourages them faster than most. Okay, so a little bit of like a speed to it, like you can be more quick, more to the point, more faster pace in general. Okay, I get what you mean. So how would you compare Tenchu then to like, what you call it? Like compared to those games.
she is my knight.
That's another like whole other like take on the stealth genre. Blades of Fire, I'd have never heard of that game. It's from the same. Oh, really? I'm guessing it's one of the previous games then. Yeah, Double Agent on PS and Xbox actually quite good too. Okay. I'm guessing I just played a very like compromised version of those games. Chaos Theory, by the way, has an awesome asymmetrical PvP mode. Someone makes. Whoa. Hope that's pretty cool. Like in this day and age of like asymmetrical horror games with the killer and stuff, to have like one for more stealth, right? That's pretty cool. Yeah, I could imagine that being re-examined hopefully soon. Like someone approaches that idea again. Because that game's been out long enough for like, you know, for people to grow up with it and like want to like make their own version of it. Yeah, speaking of that, I think just yesterday or 2 days ago, Hyperfunk was revealed. That's a sequel to Bomber Cyberfunk. It's like a spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio, which is pretty cool. So again, at the time we didn't know Sega was actually remembered that series existed anymore. So we had like indie games do it for them. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The first one was so successful that they're making a follow-up. And I know they're bringing back Jet Set Radio, but I think it might be what should we call it? A live service type of game. So I think that's what they said They said a certain wording that it might not be like, you know, a traditional single player type of game. Yeah, we'll see. They're also making another Golden Axe. And the Streets of Rage game, I think Revive. Looks pretty cool. No, Double Dragon. That's different, but. Get this guy. Yeah, they announced those Sega Revival a while ago, so let's see.
I'm not done yet.
There we go. I was about to mention as a disappointment, I wanted something like their first game. Oh, Severance Blade. Oh, okay, okay. Much more bland than that. Yeah, I think yeah, I've checked out Severance Blade before. Like as a game to check out, I want to say. Tenchu has a mixture of moments that's for speed and moments that's for patience. Oh. Yeah. One day I'll have the brain for stealth games. That's a whole nother like rabbit hole to fall into. I don't know how to compare Tenchu. Okay. The later Tenchu entries focus more on speed, namely the whatever likes.
Unstable warps and
Yeah, because I think the most famous one is Tenchu Z, right? That's the one I see most of the time. Not much of the PS1 or PS2. Usually it's Tenchu Z. I mentioned it before, but I tried to get it on the Xbox Marketplace before it went down, but it seemed like it was delisted way before that even before that news broke out that it was closing. Wrath of Heaven seems to be everyone's. Oh, okay, yeah, that's also the one you hear a lot. I never liked it too much. Wrath of Heaven is a famous one, but with fans of the series from okay. Yeah, whenever I see clips, it's usually Z when I've noticed too. That one might be like picking up Steam as well, like popularity. And I think physical copy is super expensive. So just to try it out casually, that might be too much of a high barrier for me, but. Oh, I was only one hit away from Rapture. Tenchu Z is a pretty big one. I think it's underrated, deeply flawed, but has its qualities. Okay. Yeah, the only other like sort of ninja stealth action game is Red Ninja, but I haven't played it myself. I just seen the cover before and looked at the gameplay. I want to check it out eventually, but. I think even it has ties to Senran Kagura. I think. I'm not too positive, but that would be pretty funny if he was making those type of games so early on. Who's next? Well, sirens. Vampire Reign Altered Species is a sleeper hit stealth game. Doesn't quite like that game with more Oh, wish more people liked it. I'm guessing it's a more newer like indie game. Yeah, this. I remember looking at there was a graph, like a graphic, when Silk Song came out, comparing to like the average games released per month. But it showed like the sharp drop off of releases because of Silk Song. And I think there was about 1,400 games released every month on Steam. So that really like opened my eyes how much stuff is being put out there, and we just don't know about it. There could be something like a genius indie game waiting to be found, but we just get piled on month by month. Not just other indie games, but like big names as well. Yeah, I can only imagine. Also, oh, okay, older PS3 game. It's said by many as one of the worst, but I really enjoyed it. Avoidance, focused stealth, and large-scale open side. Oh, that's interesting. And the fact that it's more open-ended levels. I think MGS5 touched on that sort of thing, right? In the future.
A stinger. This
Stinger.
one may be a challenge.
Yeah, heads up though, I'm gonna end the stream after this mission. So that's what I'm gonna do is a little short stream today. And from here on out, I'm just gonna be focusing on making the video. So that's gonna be fun. I'm losing my voice too now, I'm noticing, so the perfect time to call it. I know exactly what I'm doing, don't worry. Don't worry, I can see what's happening. Honestly, if you want to play 3D action games, you kind of have to read the room without being able to see it. I know it seems hard, but it's a universal skill you have to pick up on over time. Another cool thing is you can you don't have to do the delay string. You can combo into the launcher or other moves, which is pretty cool. That's like the perfect time to combo different stuff. Oh, I see the game slowing down with all the stuff that's going on. Oh my god. Okay, I thought I went out of bounds for a second. Holy god. I thought I left the stage. Yeah, those aerial resets. Gotta master those if you want to get far in this game.
For a powerful race, a body to possess is just a tool.
Okay.
If it can control
Did I go out of bounds?
give them a chance.
Okay, I think I should be here. Yeah, this game is really fun. Yeah, I've only heard like mixed things. Like very rarely did I hear positive stuff about this game. But again, it does have its onboarding hurdles you need to get past. Like I said, the progression can be a little more spread out than it should have been. A lot of paywalling before you can actually get new moves. The pricing for moves is kind of high as well. And yeah, and I know the color stuff is divisive, so people aren't receptive to it and want to learn it. But no, there's a lot of cool stuff with the color stuff, different weapons. Like, yeah, the enemies are really well developed. Yeah, really, really fun game. I think it's been about 3 years or almost 3 years since this came out. So fingers crossed they've been working on a follow-up. I do want to see more of this world and characters.
I've read some stuff.
It's pretty impressive that Justin, I think that's her name, that she voices both protagonists. Crazy good job too. Future of the channel does incredibly bright. Oh, appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. There's a lot of unique action games to dig into. We've never heard of. Yeah. Just in our short little stream, like we've discussed a lot of stuff you don't really hear about. And stuff I never heard about either. And it's kind of what I play a lot. There's a lot of to cover. And it's kind of weird and cool at the same time that even though I was on hiatus for a long time, like not putting things out, I got a cool bit of subscribers. This year in general, like my output was very slow, like very low, because each video took like 2 months with Ninja Gaiden. But I noticed there was like a constant uptick, which is kind of crazy to me. There's a very niche stuff we cover, very like info heavy. So I already went into this knowing it's not for everybody, but I'm glad it's getting to the people who need it the most, pretty much. I think there's one more. Where is the last one? There should be a... Oh, there it is. Yeah, I was looking for like a platform. Bro. Soulstice has its flaws, but most of the criticism I've heard was from people that just wanted something that... Yeah. I get that too. But again, I try to make the point to be more open-minded with action games. Like back then, right, with 2D games, the 2D stuff were way more experimental and always trying something different. So of course, obviously I like DMC, right? I want to see more games, but that's the standard I've come to find over the years. Like that's what people expect. But the action genre had a lot more experimentation, even on PS2 when it was still very early on. Like I mentioned it for Maximo. Like I like what it was going for, being a 3D, a very faithful 3D interpretation of Ghosts and Goblins. And then Army of Zin, the sequel, there was a very clear change from the first game. That they DMC-fied it, giving the stingers, little juggle stuff. Like, I like DMC, but I want Maximo to be Maximo and DMC to be DMC. Like, the homogenization was kicking in a little bit too much. But when something's successful and when you're a business, it makes sense you want to capitalize on that. Again, I highly recommend put parry on R1. I was able to do a perfect counter there as I was still attacking. There we go. It's a big challenge for most new 3D action games, overcoming criticism from people that only like a specific. Yeah, that's a very big thing in the genre I've found. Like, you either like the one thing or nothing at all. Which is a shame because there's a lot of different stuff out there. And the fact you kind of need to exercise that muscle of trying different things and being more open about it. Like trying new things, different mechanics and stuff. Because I'm a rare defender of Bayonetta 3 because it's actually reminded me of classic action platformers are trying something different, being experimental, unique movement with like each Devil Slave. Like, all of them have different movement tech. You know, level design is pretty cool, incorporating it. And of course, the genre switch ups you see in like Konami and Treasure. Like Bayonetta 3 was one of the rare times. It reminded me of the older stuff. And again, just like it's also divisive for being different, which kind of sucks. Same thing for this game. It's a little off-putting for some. Most mixed things are often coming from people who don't get. Yeah, they're probably like very casual enjoyers, which is fine. I did probably play DMC5, a bit of 3 probably. Like, they have their idea of what an action game is and what it should be, but yeah, there's a lot of variety out there.
Well met, observer.
This game does have some worthy criticism, but it's indeed a mixture of Souls-like fans, DMC fans that tend to critique modern action games. That don't fall into. Yeah, that's another sucky part, right? Everything has to fall into a group of some kind.
Do you know what did
But that's what it's called, these games, action games. I don't try to be too overly specific. Like, I know character action is sort of like the widely used term, but I think it's too limiting. It's either Itagaki, Kamiya, or Itsuno. If it's not from those 3 directors, then they're not a part of the cool kids club, pretty much. So it's way too limiting, in my opinion. But I know action games is also too broad. But yeah, I know genre titles is very. It's always a funny thing to talk about because people's interpretations are always different, and the lines are always different areas to cut off and this and that. Like, I'm sure people would question me having Maximo on my tier list, or even having RE6 on there or Vanquish, right? Because they're shooters. But yeah. Playing Shank 1 reminded me that most hack and slash games in PS360 must have grab button. Yeah, we should have more of those too. Like, more grapple based mechanics. I'm trying to think of anything in the modern day, but I just can't. But yeah, that's like a very underrated mechanic.
What's wrong?
To be fair, grab buttons are pretty common with action games, and I think Shankwin added it because. Okay.
You shouldn't. Use that pain and anger to avenge them.
Man, Urban Rain, I wish.
There. One boat remains afloat. We could cross on it, sister.
What I want to say.
It would save us a walk through.
Like I said in the video, I think it's a fighting game with a tacked on single player. I don't think it was developed for a single player beat 'em up experience because the grabs don't have iframes on them, And that was kind of like the biggest giveaway, like, okay, something's up here. Yeah, and then like the enemy AI is definitely more leaning into fighting game AI rather than deterministic enemy attacks like you would see in beat 'em ups or in action games in general. Yeah. Yeah, I mentioned that game because the grab mechanics were pretty damn crazy. The high, low, and mid. That the stuff there, like if they had enemies to counteract certain like areas, but yeah, for that video I was gonna bring up For Honor because similar idea, right? There's up, left, and right, you know, directional areas, right? And there is a single player mode in that game, but not real patterns like enemies. Like you just fight AI, fighting game AI for the entire story mode. The wait for NG4 is killing me. Yeah, 2 more months. September, we're middle of September, but then we still need to wait for 21 days of October. So it's pretty much the entire month of October we gotta wait. We got time to kill. That's why I wanted to start making videos again, because I know I have a lot of time to kill, pretty much. The action game genre is incredibly diverse. There's countless ways to make one. I love finding ones that are unique. Yeah, exactly. Like another game that seems very unique is Gun Valkyrie and Otogi. Both OG Xbox games. And they seem to have a distinct movement. And I think that really separates each game from each other. So, yeah, those I'm looking forward to cover as well. I have a modded OG Xbox, and I've had burned copies of Otogi 1 and 2 for a while, but I just gotta get to them. They're also on actual, like, the Xbox store, like modern ports. So if they're on sale, I'll just pick them up if I ever see it. Urban Rain with just a few tweaks would be a masterpiece. Even without it, it's really fun. Like mechanics are great, the controls are amazing.
Because swimming in armor is not much fun.
The feedback is probably one of the best things about the game, like the hit effects and the sound design. Yeah, and I like the look of the game, the grittiness of it, like the street brawler type of look. Like even the music's pretty damn good. Like there's a lot of good about it. It's just when you really dig deep into the enemy design. That's my only problem with the game. It's just enemy design. In my opinion, that's sort of like the make or break for an action game. Yeah, mechanically, it's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. It's just the enemy design isn't there to like back it up. Unfortunately. That reminds me, you should check out, dude. That's enough. Because I remember when Rise of the Ronin was brand new, the discussions of like Way of the Samurai were being compared and brought up a lot. So yeah, that's been on the list as well for the entire time, which is almost like 2 years now since they first came out. I don't know which one people prefer, but I think there's like 4, I think. So yeah, there's a lot. The combat in those games are incredibly in-depth and combining with extremely open-ended. Yeah, that's the other cool thing. That would be really fun to like mention, that the whole story beats, because you're meant to replay it multiple times, right? I think that's like sort of the draw of it. I think they're really short playthroughs as well, so you hop right back in to like do a different path. I've been replaying them and they definitely have their flaws, but the combat is still really, really good. Yeah, that's something I'm gonna, like I said, I've been really working on on the. Let me put on a mission with a cutscene, and then we'll call the stream there. Oh, what was it? I lost my train of thought. Crap, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. I'm really have the basis of my script for this game, and like the biggest takeaway I want to mention is that I would rather play a game with so-so execution with a different idea. You know, the fact it's trying to be different and experimental is something that should be promoted or like rewarded, enjoyed, instead of like racing to the bottom of homogenization. But yeah. So I like this game for everything it's doing. It has the basics that we're familiar with, but it puts a nice spin to it.
The order set a small tear. Not that the world's veil ripped apart.
Okay. We might have to call it a little early.
Ilden,
One second.
capitals. The seat of the torchbearer.
Once the light of the kingdom, now it burns.
I can't do this. It's too much. I can't even fathom why the orders and us here with the other.
Okay, let me quickly catch up. We'll call it.
To the
Yeah, someone just pulled up outside, so.
The outcasts. I say this is our chance to prove ourselves. We can't waste it. Anyway, we're late. Can you sense the others?
The echo of the dead is just too strong.
Okay.
Dulls my senses.
Loot. You need
First
to
game.
focus.
Okay, first game is a pseudo roguelike. You also have one life and a very short campaign. Interesting. With massively branching storylines with the.
The veil must be powerful.
Man, yeah, I'm really excited to play those games eventually.
Let's look for our
Where Winds Meet come out in November.
He should be
It's a Wuxia. Yeah, there's a lot of those coming out. Even
Then we best find an
there's a new one that just got announced too recently. For Black Myth, right? Like a follow-up to that sort of game. They have more of that sort of theming, which is cool. Isn't Bujin Guy considered like a Wuxia game as well? That's something else I gotta play. That's funny, they're completely...
the touch of chaos.
Oh, they're completely different from Way of the Samurai. They're thankfully pretty short games.
Taking the weakest first. Turning them on the strong.
People... Okay, let me put on a different cutscene. So I gotta call it here pretty soon. In the next few minutes. Trying to see which one has a cool cutscene. Why not this one? Okay. The babies are barking, yeah. My little crazy boys. Meant you play it since the campaigns are very short but extremely reactive. Oh, is it like evolving quest lines and stuff like that?
These nightmares.
There's a spin-off game that's a roguelike dungeon crawler. Oh, that's pretty damn cool.
So many memories. I tried to
Haven't
bury
gone
them beneath my
gone to it yet, but I hear it's
my
basically
rage
focused on choosing one weapon, upgrading it up.
was not enough.
Oh, okay.
But a foolish experiment. A failed
What the
one
heck is
that
wuxia? I think it's a fighting style,
was a
right?
mistake to forget.
From my limited knowledge, I think that's what wuxia means.
If only it had just been about me. But no.
Black Myth is okay.
I had to drag Lute down into this dark.
Chinese sword fan. Okay.
I do not deserve to
Historical
have her
fantasy,
by
Chinese
my
mythology,
side.
Martial. Okay.
If I cease to exist,
Appreciate the
she
correction.
would finally be
A genre
free.
of Chinese fiction or cinema featuring
This is for the best.
Sister,
internet warriors of ancient China, often depicted as
Lute, you're here with me.
superhuman. Okay.
Even now.
of course
Think,
I am.
oh, yeah, that's a good movie.
I always will.
I think would Hero be counted like similar?
Briar.
Hero is a really cool martial arts movie.
To us. It's a scar that won't be
Involving quest lines that heavily react to your decision. Oh, okay, nice.
all that scar.
Oh, Hero, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a really cool movie.
But we have to get back now.
Yeah, I've seen that years ago, but
To wake up.
You
yeah, I think
far
I'm caught up.
stronger than me.
I need to go eat,
Again, that pain.
play with my baby boys.
I thought I could
But yeah,
withstand
we'll call it there for today.
I was wrong.
I'm gonna be gone for a while.
Our deaths,
Now I'm be focusing on making the video for Soulstice.
in the end, it's all been for nothing.
Yeah,
That our
appreciate you
souls
guys
are
hanging around,
lost.
and until next time.
Only a monster remains out there, just like the one.